Okay guys, in this tutorial we're going to show you how to do the exercises that I'm going to assign you in Education Perfect for Chinese. So here I am on the Education Perfect website. First thing to do is log in, of course. Remember your username starts with CHHS, then is your first name and your last name. So my example is John Student. Now your password when you first log in is just your first name. You should have changed that after you've logged in, make it a bit more secure. So CHHS first name, last name, no dot or anything like that, then your password. And we sign in. So that's going to take me to my home page. Now I want to go into the student learning zone. So once I'm in there, my computer's going a bit slowly today. Once I'm in there, if you've been assigned something, then you'll know. So you can see that for Chinese, I've got two things that are due later. So I can see that straight away. I can also see that I've got a couple of notifications up there. So you can see that Mr. Dunn has assigned me a new task. Two new tasks actually. So I can access those tasks straight from the notifications. Yeah, I can click on here and it takes me into my tasks and assessment tab and it shows me what I've got to do. Now there's one here called Greetings Introductions. You can see the name. I've got to do 3 smart lessons. It tells me how long it should take me, when it's due by, how much I've done. And down here are the 3 things I've got to do: introductions, greetings, and practice. So we'll click on one of those and we'll see where it takes us. So you can see here we've got an overview of the little unit. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts and they're listed here. I click on start and we'll get started. So these yellow sections, these are little slideshows which tell us what we're going to learn. Okay, so here's the slide. We'll learn how to introduce ourselves. And here we've got a list of key vocabulary. Right, so that's quite a long list. We've got the Chinese, the Pinyin, and the English. Now every time you see a little play icon like that, if you push it, you can actually hear how the word sounds.
你好.
Now that's coming through my headphones, so you're not hearing the computer say ni hao, but if I click on that, it will play the word for me so I can hear it. Once you're happy with that, you've had a look at it, you think you know what's going on, you go, okay, great, you click on continue. And over here, you'll see we've moved down one in our little unit summary here. And here's the lesson. This slide is just telling us what happens. When you first meet someone, you can say, ni hao, hello. Again, I can play it here to see how it sounds. More language here. So these slides just tell us what the language is. Once you think you understand that, you can just go, yep, that's good, and I'll continue. Now, these parts here, where you've got anything, a little purple checklist there, these ones where you're being asked questions. So here, it says, I read the instructions, I do what it says. It says, click on the name in the text below, and I've got Wo, Jiao, Xiaofang. I can click on either of those. Well, Wo is I, Jiao is called, the name is Xiaofang. So I click on the name, submit, and it tells me I'm correct. I do the same thing again. All right. So I'm not going to go through all of these because I think you get the idea. I can skip ahead if I want. I can go down here to the vocabulary practice, and these are different types of questions. Yeah. How do you say the following word in Chinese? Hello. Is it hao, ni, zaijian, or ni hao? I know that's ni hao, so that's where I'll click. And I'm correct again. If I make a mistake, that's fine. All right, so let's get this one wrong. How do you say the following word in Chinese? To be called. Let's click ni hao again. So you can see, oh, all right, it's red, so I've gotten it wrong. It shows me the correct one in green as jiao. Okay. So it's just a matter of going through and doing all of these exercises. Our comprehension exercises. Okay, so you can see here it comes up with a little window where there's audio. So I simply click on play and that plays the audio. I've got to listen to that and then answer the question. So I listen to this short little 10-second dialogue and I have to say, what does the speaker say to Anna? I click on what I think the correct answer is. That's our comprehension. And our writing, we've just got to put things in the correct order. Now, it says drag the words. what you can actually do, you can cheat a little bit. You can just click. So hello Peter, that's going to be ni hao. So I know that ni goes first, so I can just click on ni, and it goes down, and then hao, ni hao Peter. Submit, and we're right again. Okay, so that's it. Once you've finished all the activities, that locks a thing called dash. If we're playing in class, dash means you can race against other people in the class who have already finished. But that won't unlock until I'm done. And I can see my progress here. I can also see my total progress up here. All right, and then that tells me how much I've done. So this type of activity is called a smart lesson, and I'll assign these fairly regularly. And they're a great way to learn the content and to practice it. I'm going to exit before I finish. Okay, again, here you can see how much I've done. We'll go back to the home. So I'm back here. Now, if I click, so we can see again from this screen that I've got greetings, introductions, which we're just doing now. We've also got the numbers 1 to 10. If I click up here, I'm getting the same thing. So let's go. So these are the task assessment. Let's click on numbers up to 20. That's the one we've been assigned. Should take us about 42 minutes. We have to get it done by March the 7th. We'll click on here. Now, this is a translation list. So you can see that the page here is a bit of a different format. We've got the list of the words here with our Chinese and pinyin. In the middle, we've got the English. And over here is our progress, which I've explained in another video. When you learn it once, you get 1 star, 1 point. When it's ready for revision, you get another dot. When you revise after a certain period of time, you get more stars. The next day, 1 more star to make 2. A week later, 3 stars. A month later, 4 stars. 3 months later, 5 stars and the maximum. I haven't learned any of these yet, so I have no stars. Over here are our 4 exercises: reading, listening, dictation, writing. Let's see how they work. So reading is simply Chinese text to English. We've clicked that already. We click on start. So here I can see the word ling. I need to type what that is in English. Now I can either type 0, which it is, and that was correct. We've got bar. I know that's 8, so I can actually type in the number 8, and I can click submit or press enter. 0, 9. Remembering, if we can't remember what something is, if you can't remember what R is, you simply click on show hint, and it tells you, it's 2. Okay, and we get to copy the answer there. So we can just copy 2, and it says well done. Now, we've just got to keep doing this until we learn them. So I'm going to go through and do a few, and we'll see what happens. So we can see down here that it's changing as I get the numbers right. Yeah. So I haven't had qi before, so there's nothing down there. So I got 7. Ba is 8. 2, 4, 3, 7, 1. So we've just got to keep going through, and if we make a mistake, that's fine. Maybe I think that E is 10, so I just put in 10. Oops, no. Oh, okay. Well, if you get it wrong, it tells you E is 1. Yeah, okay. So let's just go to the next question. We know Wu is 5. That's a bit tricky. 10 and 2, that's 12. And we keep going through. So this is our first go. Yeah, we get 20 questions at a time. And you can see that I've got most of them right. I made a bit of a mistake with 2 and with 1. But now we can continue. And if you have a look, now I've made some progress. So quite a few of these I've already learned. So I've got my 1 star. There's a few that I haven't. If I go through and do the list again, it will give me more of the numbers that I haven't learned yet. But I'm not going to do that. We're just going to jump straight into the listening so I can show you what that is. So listening, it's the same numbers. You can see I haven't learned any of them yet though, so I've got no stars. We click on start. Now here, there's nothing on the screen. I've heard the number in my headset. No, I've heard ling, and I know that ling is 0, so I just need to type it in there. And I hear it again. This time I've heard lil. Now, I can't remember what lil means. I show a hint. Lil is 6. Okay, so I type it in. Ling, I've heard ling again. That's 0. So it's the same thing. I'm just hearing the words rather than seeing them. So I'm just going to jump back out. to go through and do the whole thing. And you can see it gives me a summary of what I've done. And I can go back into the screen and I've learned 0. Yay. So that's, we've looked at reading and listening. Let's just look at dictation and writing. So these ones both we're going into Chinese. So with the dictation, again I hear something, but I don't see it. So I heard ling. Now I have to write that not in English, but in Chinese. This is tricky because I have to know what the characters are. So once I type in ling, and I've got to push space after I've done that, I get all of these characters. All of these characters are pronounced ling. Now, which one is the ling for 0? Now I know it's this one, so I've got to click on it and hit enter, and then submit. So with this one, it's really important. You have to know what the characters look like. Now I've just heard ba. Now I know that ba is 8. And B-A, ba. I push space, and I've got to know which one is the character for 8. Now I know that it's this one. So I hit enter, and then enter again for submit. And this time we have R, space. And we know that number 2, R, is this one. And again, if we make a mistake, so I've had jiu, which is 9, J-I-U, jiu, space. Now, the correct answer is this one, but let's say I think it's that one. And I go, yep, I think that's right. If I get it wrong, it tells me this is the character that I should have done. Okay, so this one's a little bit harder because you have to know what the characters are. So I want to jump back out and show you the last one that you might get, which is the writing exercise. Okay, so with writing, so here we see 0, so we see, okay, how do you write 0 in Chinese? So we've got to go ling, L-I-N-G, that's the pinyin, space, and then find the correct character, which is this one. Enter, enter. 8. We know that 8 is ba. We have to type in ba, space, and then try and find the right character, which is this one. And then enter, and enter again. And that's how that one goes. We go through writing the Chinese. The last thing to remember is that, so I'll just continue out of this. If 20 questions is too much, you'd like to take a bit of a break after a different number, you can set it to a break after every 10 questions. If you, just love this, you want to do as much as you can set a break after 50 questions. This one, simply infinity, simply means you don't have a break until you've learned everything. Okay, which is what you can do if you're really keen. I'd suggest though setting it to 10 or 20. That's that means it's not quite as intense, and you can have a break a bit more often. Okay, so that's how you do your tasks. So remember, from the home screen, you can find your tasks and assessments here in the task and assessment tab. We just click on that, and that shows us everything that we've been assigned in Chinese. To resume something, simply click on it, and you go back to this screen, and it shows you that we're already 9% complete. So we go back in, and we can choose in the translation list what type of activity we'd like to do, either reading, listening, dictation, or writing. Or I'm just going to go back into tasks and assessment. This is still the numbers, back one more. I can go back into the greetings and introduction. It's a smart lesson, and I can choose any of the units. I don't have to do them in order. It's best to do them in order, but I don't have to. If I do go back into something I've already done, it shows me which bits I've completed, so I don't need to go back into here. I can jump straight into this activity, for example, with recognition, and it just continues from where I got up to. Okay, so I hope you found that useful. Your Language Perfect is a really great program for learning Chinese. If you take the effort to do some of this, I think you'll really notice the difference in your Chinese. And as always, every time we finish the session, we go up, we make sure that we log out. All right, guys. I really hope you enjoy learning on Education Perfect, and I'll see you in the next video.